let us all do we can to build a better future.
All right. I have been vocal against censorship.
Mm-hmm.
I have stood against censorship. I don't like it. And look, there are a lot of people that I agree with and disagree with. All right. But whenever anybody's content or channel on YouTube is hit unfairly or censored or given a strike, I will be consistent and say reinstate the channel. This goes for libertarians. This goes for Greens. This goes for socialists. This goes for Republicans and conservatives, liberals, Democrats, etc. Now, I know that INN was suspended or given the inability to be monetized or live stream for not 1 but 2 weeks. Is that correct, Colin?
For INN?
Yeah, for INN.
Yeah, we got a strike for 2 weeks.
And then, of course, Kim Iverson, her entire interview with RFK Jr. was taken down because, quote unquote, it violated the YouTube community guidelines and was removed. Now, we here at Hard Lens Media know what it's like to be censored. Not once, but 8 times. 8 times we were demonetized. 8 times we were given strikes. Our videos were taken down. We were unable to do any live streams. I want to be very clear on this. Every time YouTube did that to us, we won.
Yeah.
YouTube admitted its mistake. Now, we were consistent in fighting back, and plus we had the receipts to back up our claims. YouTube's algorithm is like a blind attack dog, blind, deaf, and dumb. It will bite anything that it's near. So this is what we have to live with and contend with. So when people say to me, hey, I'm subscribed to your channel, but I'm not being notified, or I was unsubscribed, there's nothing we can do. And sadly, unfortunately, when we first got hit with a strike, we were censored for 6 months, and that almost financially destroyed Hard Lens Media.
Right.
There was a good portion, and were it not for the moves that Daniel Lupker and myself made in order to rebuild our institution, our organization, I am confident enough to say, Colin, you and I would not be speaking. I would not be speaking to any of you. Probably Hard Lens Media would be gone.
Right.
Now, we still have a permanent warning, and that video, we can no longer contend that permanent warning because YouTube deleted that video. YouTube deleted the video, and there's no way we could contend with it. And I've talked to my colleagues, hey, did you accidentally delete it? No. And so now we're stuck with that permanent warning. And when I've asked YouTube to remove it, YouTube said, oh, but it looks like it's gone, so we can't do anything about it. YouTube, you're the one that deleted it. And why am I talking about this? Because our colleagues at Revolutionary Blackout Network probably got the same thing happen to us. And this is something that I want to warn everyone about, especially if you're in independent media. That goes for libertarians, Greens, everyone. I don't care where you are on the political spectrum, Republicans, Democrats. Here's what happened to RBN. Now, YouTube gave RBN a strike and restricted us from streaming or posting clips until Thursday. This is why, again, people weren't aware when they went live yesterday. Because of this, we'll be streaming Sunday, May 28th from the RBN LBC chapter channel. The strike is for playing footage from the International COVID Summit from the European Parliament. YouTube. This video is being shared by other authoritative sources.
Right.
Okay. YouTube. This is legitimate news. YouTube, the World Health Organization, has declared the COVID pandemic over. So now why RBN got hit, I'm just going to throw it out there and say YouTube doesn't like black voices. You censored independent black voices. You went after a black channel that is trying to help out its communities all across the country. You silenced and censored a independent channel. Why are you against black people speaking out or covering independent news? Why are you against them, YouTube? Because this is unfair. This is not right. So again, this is where you could find their channel at now, right here. All right. So again, it's Revolutionary Blackout Long Beach. And so they went live. I was on that Saturday live stream with Compton J. I am enraged that this is happening to one of our colleagues. And what I fear is that if YouTube did take down that video, if they permanently deleted it, I fear that RBN could be stuck with a permanent warning like Hard Lens Media. So what I would say to everyone, if you're going to get involved in independent media, and I'm glad that we're doing this now, set up an Odyssey channel, set up a Rockfin channel, set up a Rumble channel.
Right.
And the reason why I'm doing saying that is because if YouTube takes down that video, I would recommend tagging Rumble, Rockfin, and be sure to tag Team YouTube, YouTube community, all of that, or Odyssey, and say, hey, here's the video in question you deleted. Here's where you're saying we supposedly broke the guidelines and we didn't do it. That's what Hard Lens Media does, and that's how we've been able to win. Also, thanks to our colleagues in independent media, as well as our wonderful audience. So YouTube, I don't know why you're censoring independent Black voices. I certainly hope that you're not being bigoted towards independent voices and independent media, but it looks like it because again, what happened with the International COVID Summit meeting from the European Parliament? This was posted by Legitimate News. So
Right.
if MSNBC YouTube was to play that video and post it on their YouTube channel, or CNN, are you going to strike them too?
Right.
Colin,
Right.
I want to give the floor to you. Your thoughts.
Yeah, as you said, we went through this for a similar situation a few weeks ago, but I think for us, for like RBN and INN, that is actually a network of different creators coming together. In a lot of ways, it's easier for us because, at least in our case, and I'm sure like for RBN, like if the main channel goes down, we have other channels that we can continue to stream. Like in many cases, we won't be monetized for it because many of our channels are a lot smaller on their own. So, but at least that we have the ability to stream, and just telling our audience, come to this channel instead. I think we have the advantage there. So I think that's one of the things that I think we have a privilege in being able to do. But that being said, for people who are doing this alone, like it's a lot harder because you don't necessarily have a backup channel, or like if you don't have access to Rockfin or Odyssey or any like the alternate media platforms, it's a lot harder for you to do that and a lot harder for your audience to find your content. So as I say, YouTube, and pardon my French, but YouTube is bullshit. In a way that the algorithm works, in a way that we have done stuff on INN that is technically fair use, and those streams or those clips are either get limited monetization, meaning when YouTube says limited monetization, that usually means we get cents to the cents of the dollar, like from ad revenue or whatever, which basically means we ain't getting shit, or straight up demonetized effectively. God
damn it.
That's, I would say, 80% of our content. Like now for us, we don't care because we went into the idea of like, we want to produce the content that we enjoy, that our audience wants. It's not about the money for us. But it makes it hard that we are, like, for all of us, having to walk on eggshells in terms of being almost fearful of what we have to produce, being fearful as to what content we are putting out there, and kind of, like doing this to ensure, like, I hope it doesn't get down, or we like always kind of living in that fear and trepidation of having our content not get a strike.
Wow.
So it's definitely a game that we have to kind of play with YouTube, which I think is very unfair, especially given that a lot of the larger channels usually are able to play a lot of these things without consequence. And then for smaller channels that we're hit. So I definitely think there's a bias there in it's a lot easier to kind of come at channels like us that don't have as big of a following versus like a larger channel that might be able to do the same thing and they can kind of get away with it. So it's very unfair and very unsettling. But again, at least with RBN, being that they are a network, they have smaller channels that they are able to kind of continue that content. So that's the advantage that they have. And honestly, the model that works in that regard.
I would want to add on to this too, because look, what is happening? Let me explain to the audience about why this is happening, because I feel like an old seasoned veteran
Right.
about why this is happening. Gather around, young people, and listen to old man Kit speak. So here's how YouTube got the way that it is right now. Because at one point it used to be a meritocracy. Well, first, obviously, you have a lot of brain dead idiots who were part of outlets like Vice, Vox, BuzzFeed. Now, of course, Vice and BuzzFeed are now going belly up. But you had a lot of people and journalists who were part of corporate media, the whole establishment media, get jealous of a lot of content creators because, let's face it, when you have people like PewDiePie who were, again, obviously and still are number one in social media and having a large social media platform, you have, narrow-minded idiots who just get jealous and decide to smear him. And one point was the infamous Great Adpocalypse, where they went after PewDiePie because he was wearing a British Bombardier outfit, but yet the big brain people at Vice and BuzzFeed and everyone else in corporate media were quick to jump on it, like the idiots that they were, and say, oh, he's wearing a quote-unquote German uniform of the Luftwaffe. British Bombardier pilot uniform,
Right.
Luftwaffe uniform. Two different things altogether. And they smeared him. They smeared him. And then, of course, YouTube was then bullied by corporate media and the establishment and twisted its arms to where now YouTube has the algorithm favors CNN or Fox or MSNBC because that's just how it is. And all the social media platforms are doing it. So whenever you watch RBN or Jimmy Dore, INN, Hardlands Media, you're going to be given a video recommendation from CNN or MSNBC. It's going to happen to you. I'm so sorry. There's nothing we can do about it. What I would recommend to everyone right now is if you want to help out RBN, I would say politely retweet this tweet, call out YouTube community, everything else, and tell them to reinstate it. Show them that this video, the International COVID Summit meeting, is being covered by all the media outlets, and that it is open for fair use for commentary. That it's that again, RBN did not violate any community guidelines. I was part of that goddamn live stream. Compton J and no one in the RBN community said anything offensive, did anything wrong. No violations. None. There were no violations. So I'm a character witness because I was part of it. And I've gone through this before, not once, but 8 times, YouTube. You could be better, but you choose not to. Now, again, I don't know why you're against RBN. I know YouTube, you say you're all for inclusivity and diversity, but I don't believe it because I don't know why you singled out their channel. Maybe if a real human being looked at the live stream, you'll realize, oh, yeah, that video is open for fair use and commentary because all the other media outlets are doing it. And I don't see you going after these authoritative sources. And by the way, YouTube, this isn't the first time corporate media lied to the people. So there was numerous times CNN or Fox News or MSNBC got a story wrong or straight up lied. You're going to hold them to the same standard that you do other content creators? Because it was regular people that made YouTube what it is, not the corporations.
Right.
That's all I want to say. So I urge my audience, please, politely, if you can't do it, then don't. Politely retweet to YouTube and tell them to remove this strike and to fully reinstate, fully remonetize RBN. That's what I want to see happen. This isn't open for discussion or debate. That's all I want to say. And I am enraged that this is still going on. And unfortunately, folks, I wish I could say it's going to get better, but it's not.
No, if anything, it's going to get a lot worse, especially given that we're in election season now. So,
yeah, agreed.